matchup, someone is going to be on the East Coast and someone is going to be on the West Coast, and you're going to be looking at those games and trying to figure out what makes sense as far as not overusing the players or shortening up the time. You got to think travel times is a big problem. I don't know if they would do something as far as like, I was gonna say maybe play, bulk games, but that would be unfair to a team. You wouldn't want them sitting there playing 3 games, in one city, and then if they're down now, they get 4 games, but they're down. Maybe 2-1, 3 or 3-0. So that will be probably the biggest thing that they have to work out. I'm laughing at something Mocha Bella said in the chat. She said, you can go over 10 o'clock. Chief has a long intro. So, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be respectful to people's time, on that. But he does have a long intro, though. But yeah, this playoff format, the top 16 teams, I think it's a lot. I think it's a lot of people that wants to see this, or at least to try it out to see how it works. There are teams that at times, we would be like, you know what, that they shouldn't be in there. We had this point where a portion of the past seasons where we had all these West Coast teams, and these West Coast teams were so much better record wise than the Eastern Conference, and people were just like, I don't want to watch that. I already know who's going to win. I would have rather if this Western Conference team that has a better record than the Eastern Conference, or because we had one season we had a team on the West that was, I think, like 6th in the West, and they would have been like 3rd in the Eastern Conference if they played in the Eastern Conference. So I get it, but it's a whole logistics thing that they're going to have to work out. But I think, hey, it's a bunch of smart people in the room, so I think they could work that out. I would like to see probably the top 16 teams just to see how it would work out. Also, another format that they were talking about was the All-Star format. So, we got a new All-Star format. We'll touch base, on that a little bit later in the show. But what was brought to him, which was a little bit of a surprise, was about top 24 players and not taking those into Eastern Conference and Western Conference because, that's how the vote was done. It was the top players in the East and top players in the West. And there were team players that was left off of these teams that people were like, if we just took the top 24, they would have made it, and it's something that they also said that they looked into of thinking about. I'm not 100% on board with that right now. I will have to think about it, but it is something that I myself, if it was up to me, would entertain as far as like at least bringing it to the table to discuss. The top 24, because basically we want to see the best players play. With the way the league has went back in the day, back when Jordan, Magic, Bird, Dr. J, Kareem, when all of them played, a lot of that stuff with free agency, it wasn't happening. So you did have, a lot of your superstars spread out, over the league. You had one superstar. If you were lucky, you might have had 2, on your team, but they were spread out. So it was a lot easier to just stay East Coast, West Coast, on it. But times have changed. I mean, we just saw this past season. Jimmy Butler is in the West, Carmelo, Paul George, James Harden, Chris Paul. The list goes on and on. Durant, Clay, Draymond, Steph, Dame, Cat. I mean, it's tons and tons and tons of people in the Western Conference. And, it's just like, obviously, only 12 people can get in. But if you got 20 guys that legitimately probably deserve to get in, then it's just like, maybe we should go to this top 24 and see, what happened, on this, with this format. Because we just went to a different format last night, and we shouldn't be scared. And I say we like I'm working for the NBA, but they shouldn't be scared to try new things. Try it out, see how it works. If it doesn't, go back to what you were doing. And I know people say, well, what about, people that get snubbed? Well, there's people getting snubbed every year. Lou Williams, we talked about it. He should have been on there. I just think the fact that he came off the bench is what, hurt him. If he had been starting with those numbers, I don't think anyone would have, question him being on a team, and that sucks, because he balled. To me, he did more with less, less time coming off the bench, when you look at it, but someone's always going to get snubbed. So, I don't think they should worry about that. I think they should try it out, at least discuss it, and see what happened, then make the necessary adjustments. So, we may be getting some changes from there. Change is good, for anything that might be lacking or a problem. So you listen to the Wait a Minute show with your man, Jelani JB Bodie. We're doing a NBA All-Star Weekend edition. So that is why I'm up early this morning to give y'all sports fix. And we're going to take a break, but we're going to come back. And when we come back from the break, we're going to get into All-Star Weekend, dunk competition, 3 points, rising stars, all that stuff. And, get your opinion on how this All-Star game went last night. So you listen to the Wait a Minute show, your man, Jelani JB Bodie. Lopan has not came back, so maybe he passed out because he was on a red eye back from LA last night. But, hey, it is what it is. We'll get back to you in just a moment after these words.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Vince Wright, the sports governor, and you know me from the Sports Done Right show. But when I'm not doing Sports Done Right, I'm in the executive mansion chilling with the Wait a Minute show. That's right, Jelani, Lopan, indeed. Keep it tuned here, y'all. The Wait a Minute show. My name is Vince Wright, and I approve this message.
Yo, this is your boy Keith C from the
Kicking It With Keith C show.
When I want to jam, I'm jamming with Queen Josie and DJ New as they're kicking those vibes.
Don't be a crook who steals. Buy what you need at DougieDeals.com.
We don't take orders from super fools. We give them.
Go give it to you.
Any and all resistance will crumble. Nonsense. There's never been a threat
Squad.
couldn't handle. It is the purpose of the
Squad.
to align our infamous forces against the powers of good and defeat them, leaving us, the rulers of the world.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is your man, Jelani JB Bodie, and
it's the Wait a Minute show.
On the Two Live Stews Radio Network, we are in here this morning giving you your early sports fix. And I told you before the break we were going to get into some of these results from All-Star Weekend. So first and foremost was the Rising Stars challenge, if you will. It was Team World versus Team USA. And I got, I'm a man, of my word. I'm going to, go ahead and eat my crow, this morning. But I got into a little bit of a conversation with Angry Black Man on here, while I was doing the show. And we were making our picks, for this weekend and how things, were going to go. So I'm going to give you, how things played out, and give an overall summary, at the end. But we had the Rising Stars Challenge. Rising Stars, like I said, was Team World versus Team US. And I took Team US. Angry Black Man took, Team World, and Team World tapped that booty to the total of 155 to 124. Brogdon Bogdanovic is the MVP. He had 26 points. Also, he got a big support from Buddy Hield, who also had 29 points in that game. I was really surprised that it was a blowout like it was. I really thought guys like, and Jaylen Brown was the leading scorer for Team US at 35 points, but I really thought Dennis Smith, Donovan Mitchell, I thought they were going to be the difference makers in this game. I thought, that they were going to be able to put the pressure, on this team. But obviously, I was wrong. Team World came out to play. Jamal Murray also gave the business to Team US. So that was a win for Angry Black Man and a loss for me. I don't like it, and I will probably do something about it. When I see Lopan, and I'll explain that a little bit later. Angry Black Man now has decided to join the chat room when I say something. And he talking about when Jelani does picks, always pick opposite him. Facts. You know what, Angry Black Man, I know you ain't here, and Mocha Bella is trying to agree with you and everything and all that stuff, but we will have another competition, and I'm guaranteeing I'm going to win. So you can book that right now. But right now, hey, yeah, I kind of struggled a little bit, just a tad. But Team World won, and then we had the 3-point competition where I told y'all, I was like, yo, I'm going with my man EG, Eric Gordon. He gonna go back to back. He been in it before. He know what he needs to do. He gonna, Eric Gordon goes out first round, like horrible. Bill Walton, horrible. He's out earlier. I'm over here. Tobias Harris is in it. I'm finna try and claim him, because he was playing for the Pistons just, right before All-Star, and all this stuff. But Angry Black Man also took Klay Thompson. So Klay Thompson didn't make it, so I was feeling a little bit better, on it. Now, Klay did make it to the finals, which had me a little worried, but my dark horse was going to be Wayne Ellington, because I was going to throw in, Devin Booker, but I said, you know what, let me put someone that a lot of people don't know about and be a real dark horse, because Devin Booker was going to be my dark horse, but I just thought, this guy had scoring 70, 71 points in a game, so I think people know, about him and what he's capable of. Now, this All-Star, 3-point competition wasn't like most, because he had a lot of low-scoring games. But in the finals, Devin Booker turned up that heat, and he dropped 28. And Klay followed it up, and he was in the running for it. He came down to the last rack, but he fell short, I think, by 2 points, 3 points, something like that. But it was a very entertaining final round. There were guys that did not show up very well that we thought, were going to actually show up. And Eric Gordon, of course, is one of them. Lou Williams struggled, in it. And my dark horse, Wayne Ellington, Tobias Harris, at one point was the leading guy, in that round. So it's, it is what it is, Shouts out to King B50, who is in the chat room. Appreciate you for joining in. Angry Black Man also says, how many picks you have for one event, Jelani? Angry Black Man, I just said the 3 guys. See, you got to remember when I was on here, I said the 3 guys that will be in the finals. I picked Eric Gordon. I think I picked Klay Thompson, and I picked Wayne Ellington. But I said Eric Gordon would win it. I just said who was going to be in the finals, Angry Black Man. Don't be trying to start nothing in here, Angry Black Man. All right? Look, you did well this weekend. Just be happy with that. Big L says 2 picks for Jelani, 1 for Lopan, 1 for Jelani, maybe. So the last thing that was on here for Saturday was the dunk contest. Now, of course, the dunk contest is always a scary moment, because we've had very good ones, we've had great ones, but then we also had, quite a few that were duds. And for this past Saturday, the dunk contest was pretty good. It wasn't horrible. The biggest thing that I like, most of the guys got their dunks on the first dunk or the second dunk. You didn't have someone doing 9,000 dunks, and everything. But I'm going to say on this one, because Angry Black Man took Donovan Mitchell, I took Larry Nance Jr. I was robbed in this one. Larry Nance Jr. should have won the